Specialist Associate with about 6 years of experience in the mental health field, but I've worked in the medical field in various capacities for over 23 years. So my journey in mental health began on a mobile crisis team for a behavioral health and substance use crisis walk-in clinic, advancing to working on site in the crisis clinic, then eventually moving on to taking a role as a mental health clinician, where I work with individuals facing severe mental health conditions, as well as serving the homeless, those with intellectual and developmental disabilities, substance use, and just in various capacities in that clinic. So today I continue this work with the same populations as the primary mental health provider at a primary care doctor's office, Contegra Health. It's the integrated doctor's office, helping individuals find balance and healing in mind, body, and spirit. I'm deeply passionate about supporting others on their journey towards wholeness and empowering them to make meaningful changes in their lives. It's a joy to combine ministry with mental health counseling, providing guidance and encouragement as individuals navigate their unique paths. Thank you for the opportunity to share this important time with you today. And this beautiful lady here, Dr. Tora Kincaid, I will let her share her bio.
Okay. So as Monreal said, welcome to our first workshop on mental health, and hopefully this will not be the last one. We're excited for the upcoming year as we begin the mental health ministry together, and we get to marry our passions together, which is mental health and working in Christianity in the church. So what a blessing that is. My name is Dr. Tori Kincaid, and I've worked in mental health in every capacity that you can think of. I don't care what it is, I've done it for the past 26 years, and I've worked with every population that you can think of. As a PhD level counselor, I'm associate professor at Montreat College, and I'm also an adjunct professor at Lenoir-Rhyne University, where I'm tasked with teaching counselors how to be counselors out in the field. As a qualified supervisor, I also train them when they get out in the field and they become provisionally licensed. I am a licensed clinical mental health counselor, a licensed clinical addiction specialist, a board-certified professional Christian counselor, and a nationally certified counselor with the NBCC. There, I serve as a subject matter expert working to reduce bias and subjectivity on subsidized testing measures. So that means when the counselors take their state exam, I'm the one who makes sure that they're fair for people like you and me.
That's awesome. All right.
I belong to many professional organizations, and through them I get to advocate for change and have a voice. I serve on committees for the Honor Societies for Counselors with Chi Sigma Iota and the National Society for Leadership and Success. And so I give back to my profession, and I get the opportunity to speak and travel several times a year, teaching other professional counselors about my research on stigmatized populations and the critical need that we have for counselors to be multiculturally competent. In my private practice, I work primarily with Black and brown clients, Christians, and I provide forensic psychological immigration evaluations for asylum seekers, the abused, and victims of sex trafficking. I'm also a board-certified telemental health provider, a life coach, and I'm certified in cognitive behavioral therapy. So why did we do all this? Why did we tell you about our bios? Was it just for us to brag on ourselves? No. It's to let you all know that we're in the trenches every single day, advocating and fighting against the wave of the mental health crisis that's sweeping the nation right now. As 1 Peter 5:8 states, we are both being sober and vigilant, because our adversary, the devil, walks about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he is going to destroy. We're warriors for Christ, as are many of you who work in mental health. I know a lot of you work in this field as well. Y'all see what's going on. Y'all see the disparity for people that look like us and who are Christians. So as counselors, we are the light in the darkness. As saints, we are ambassadors for Christ. And as African American women, we are beacons of hope in a world that sees us as less than. We are the gatekeepers. I want y'all to remember that word, gatekeeper. Keep it in your mind. Our anointed bishop has spoken in his wisdom from the pulpit many times our own mental health. Not only does he preach wellness to us, but he trains professionals as well, and he works with those suffering from mental illness and IDD. So we urge you to educate yourselves on our sobering topic today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tora. And before we begin today's workshop on suicide prevention, we want to acknowledge that this topic can be deeply emotional and may affect individuals differently. Some of the information shared may bring up difficult feelings, memories, or even thoughts. We want to recognize that suicide is often a challenging and for many a taboo topic. It may feel uncomfortable or even difficult to discuss in a church setting. Yet it's essential to acknowledge this reality of what's going on rather than turn it around. By facing this issue openly, we can move toward meaningful prevention and healing. The church can play a powerful role in leading this effort, offering a safe and compassionate space where individuals feel seen, supported, and valued. If at any point during the workshop you feel triggered or uncomfortable or even overwhelmed, please feel free to step outside or take a moment for yourself. Your well-being is a priority, and you're not obligated, to participate in every part of the discussion. We also have a list of support resources available if you would like to speak to someone privately during and after the workshop. Please don't hesitate to reach out to myself, Dr. Kincaid, I'm sure Apostle Enloe would be willing, or any other member of the church leadership team if you need support. Together as a community, we can break the silence, provide understanding, and be a source of hope and strength to those who may be struggling.
Okay, so in order to let you all understand what we're dealing with and what we're speaking about when we talk about suicide and lethality, here's some statistics that you guys need to be aware of. In 2023, the Centers for Disease Control reported on their web-based injury statistics query and reporting system that suicide is the leading cause of death, and it affects people of all ages. It's a serious public health problem and has far-reaching impact. So if you look on the first table here on the left, hopefully you can see it. You can see that each year since 2018, there are over 3,500 successful fatal suicides every month of every year. That is every month. Some groups have disproportionately high rates of suicide. Whoop, messed it up. Some groups have disproportionately high rates of suicide. If you look in this one here on the right, you'll see that the racial ethnic groups with the highest rates in 2022 were non-Hispanic American Indians and Alaska Native people and non-Hispanic white people. The suicide rate among males in 2022 was approximately 4 times higher than that among females. Now, males make up 50% of the population, but nearly 80% of the suicides that happen. Does anybody know why males have higher rates than females of successful suicidality? It's because they choose more lethal means.
Yeah.
They're more than likely going to use a gun or something that's going to be permanent. People who are ages 85 and older had the highest rates of suicide in 2022. And then, as we see here, firearms was the most common method used in suicides. Firearms were used in more than 50% of the suicides in 2022. Now, this is even more alarming. Think about this. There were 49,430 suicides among individuals ages 12 and older in 2022. For every one of those successful suicide deaths, there were emergency department visits totaling 11 for each one of those 49,000 individuals. 52 self-reported suicide attempts in the past year, and then 336 people who seriously considered suicide in the past year. So what does this mean? It means that there were signs. People should have been able to tell. Now times all of those things times 49,430. Okay. the state of North Carolina, now we were talking about national statistics, this is in North Carolina. In 2023, last year, from just April to June, there were 3,189 self-inflicted injuries to the ER department. In 2024, this year, during the same time frame, there's been an increase to 3,200. In the last 12 months, this occurred from the age demographic of 25 to 44, and the most visits were from 65% white and 25% black per 1,000 people. The rates were also the highest in females ages 10 to 24, and males 19 to 24. When the presidential race was called for Donald Trump in the early hours of Wednesday, the Trevor Project saw an overall 700% increase in calls, texts, and chats compared to prior weeks. This is an organization that offers a lifeline for LGBTQIA youth, and they struggle with thoughts of depression, self-harm, and suicide while navigating coming out to their families or facing discrimination. This past year, the Trevor Project surveyed 28,000 LGBTQIA adolescents ages 13 to 24, and 25% of them stated that they had seriously considered suicide this year. That's 7,000 adolescents.
So, hearing all that, there are many reasons why people think about suicide or choose to end their life, and different types of people. There are several accounts of people in the Bible who are found expressing feelings of despair, even to the point of wishing for death or wishing they were never born, which we consider passive SI in the professional field. This just confirms to us that complicated, unfortunate, and desperate circumstances can lead to those types of thoughts. Mental illness is not a respecter of persons, and we see from biblical accounts and the news that whether you are a man, a woman, a king, a queen, a servant, a military leader, even an apostle, the depth of someone's suffering can drive them to desperation. Even individuals who appear to have it all, fame, success, wealth, admiration, can struggle with mental health issues that may lead to suicide. So the pressures of public life, high expectations, and isolation can amplify those feelings of hopelessness, making it difficult to seek help and show vulnerability. Famous and well-known people are often under intense pressure to seem perfect, which can lead them to hide their personal struggles and mental health issues. I am sure you all can think of a number of famous or well-known people who have actually committed suicide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This shows that mental health affects everyone, no matter their status, and anyone might need support and compassion. So, then in the end, they leave only their name behind and a name that may eventually be forgotten.
So right about now should be the time that y'all are asking yourself, what can I do to help? Guess what? You are someone who may be in the best possible position to help to prevent a suicide. And QPR is designed to help you save a life. It is designed to be knowledgeable and designed to help. So QPR consists of these 3 skills. Number 1 is question the person about suicide. Number 2 is persuade someone to get help. And number 3 is refer someone to the appropriate resource. Okay, hold on. I know what y'all thinking. Dr. Kinghead, I'm not a counselor. I don't know how to help these people. Well, QPR is not a form of counseling or treatment. Rather, it's intended to offer hope through positive action. So by learning QPR, you'll be able to recognize the warning signs, the clues, and the suicidal communications of people who may be in trouble. You'll gain skills to act vigorously to prevent a suicide and a possible tragedy. So just like CPR or like the Heimlich maneuver, the fundamentals of QPR are easily learned. And as with CPR and the Heimlich maneuver, the use of QPR may just save a life. So we've all seen that suicidal thoughts are common. Suicide is the most common psychiatric emergency that leads to a cause of death around the world. This means that the need for QPR knowledge is also common. So if you're middle-aged or an older adult, you probably already know someone who has committed suicide.
Oh, yeah.
You may even know someone who has thought about it or is thinking about it right now. If you're a professional caregiver, a police officer, fireman, minister, priest, rabbi, school nurse, coach, teacher, youth leader, paramedic, high school counselor, case manager, or volunteer, or any paid staff in hundreds of different kinds of human services organizations, you very likely have had first-hand contact with suicidal people. But we can all become gatekeepers.
So who is a gatekeeper? A gatekeeper is anyone in a position to recognize a crisis and warning signs that someone may be contemplating harming themselves. So this could be you. So like for an example, a high school wrestling coach notices one of his team members is unusually quiet, withdrawn. This is kind of like their unusual behaviors. His grades are failing, his parents are divorcing, his girlfriend just broke up with him and left him for another guy. So the coach asked the student to stay for a few minutes after practice. Another example, a pastor observes an elderly church member saying goodbye to everyone at the end of the service. When he shakes hands with the man says, "I'm going home now. Thank you all for everything." This member has a history of depression, so the pastor asked the man to join him in his study. Or even a friend observes their classmate's sudden heavy drinking and talk of ending it all. The friend offers to give away their guitar. You sit down with your friend and you start to talk. Since it is impossible for family doctors, counselors, and any mental health professional to know everyone who needs help, the answer to the question, who needs to know QPR, is everyone does. Everyone needs to know QPR. Right? The Bible encourages seeking help, comfort, and community in times of trouble. Galatians 6:2 tells us to bear ye one another's burdens. So many Christians interpret this as a call to support one another, especially those struggling with thoughts of self-harm. So the term QPR is like, Dr. Torres was saying, the term QPR is like CPR on purpose. Just as CPR training helps people save lives during a heart attack, QPR trains people to help suicide prevention. So both QPR and CPR both function as a part of a chain of survival. If anybody is real familiar with CPR, just took their CPR class, you'll be familiar with that. So where everyday people and professionals can step in during a crisis, whether it's a heart attack or a mental health crisis, both require training to stop warning signs and active intervention. So for QPR, the chain of survival includes these 4 links. Early recognition of suicide warning signs and distress signals, early application of QPR, early intervention, which can be a professional screening or an assessment, and early access to competent care providers. So I know what you might be thinking in the back of your mind probably, well, won't people that are thinking about killing themselves, won't they just kind of reach out for help and ask for some help? Well, no, they don't always ask for help. The theory underlying QPR interventions rests on the evidence that most suicidal people tend not to self-refer, tend to resist treatment, often use drugs and alcohol as psychological pain medications, hide their level of despair, go undetected, and go untreated. So passive care systems that wait for a person who are at risk of suicide or waiting for them to ask for help are largely ineffective in assisting those most at risk. So those most at risk are those who are males of any age, elders, first responders, veterans, farmers, minorities, LGBTQIA community, and transgender youth and young adults.
I get it, Monreal, but sometimes it's really scary to think that you know somebody who's wanting to kill themselves.
Yes. So when someone threatens or talks seriously about suicide, the most natural reaction is fear. Fear leads to denial. Denial is how humans cope when we are confronted with something too terrible to contemplate. So to convince ourselves we didn't hear it, what we heard, we just deny the warning signs of suicide. A suicide crisis, by believing the myth that, people who talk about it, suicide, they don't do it. We hear that all the time. Or that the person is only seeking attention, or like, if they were really gonna do it,
say, I don't wanna have something like this in my family, or I experience shame or something like that?
Well, shock and sometimes anger are also normal reactions. You may be angry because the person didn't come to you sooner. You may be upset that any problem could be so serious. Fear, denial, shock, and anger. These are some of the expected and ordinary reactions to someone whose behavior or words suggest that they want to end their life.
You know, as a counselor educator, I've noticed that talking about suicide to my students, it's harder than talking about sex. And I've also noticed that there are doctors and nurses and mental health professionals that are uncomfortable about talking about it too. So I think as a society, our inability to talk frankly about a leading cause of death in the world is not an accident. It's not even oversight. It's a direct result of taboo, stigma, fear, and ignorance.
That's exactly right. So folks, if we accomplish just one thing in teaching you QPR, it will be to recognize your fear about this subject and to overcome that fear so you can take quick, bold action to save a life. When you learn QPR, you learn to lean into the other person's pain, not lean away from it. So using QPR is an act of courage.
Okay, right. So what's the first step? QPR is a skill, and that means carefully listening to the person. In the counseling world, we call that attending. You're going to want to listen for both direct and indirect statements that they make of intent. If you look inside your folders, you're going to find a packet in there, and that packet's going to include examples of some direct and indirect statements that people make, sometimes when they're contemplating ending their life. You're also going to find some scenarios and some definitions of mental illnesses that place people at a higher risk for suicidality. You're going to find information on signs of suicide from behavioral clues that you need to pay attention to. So Monreal, okay, how do we ask the big S question?
Well, first I want to dispel a myth. A lot of people think that asking the question puts the thought into someone's head.
I've heard that.
That is simply not true. So asking a suicide question does not increase the risk. There are several ways to ask the S question. You can begin by acknowledging the person's distress. So in a less direct, kind of laid back approach, you could say, well, have you been unhappy lately? Have you been very unhappy lately? Have you been so unhappy that you kind of wished you were dead? Or do you ever wish you could go to sleep and like never wake up? Or, you know, when people are upset as you seem to be today, they sometimes wish they were dead. I'm wondering if you're feeling that way too. Or a more direct approach could be, have you ever wanted to stop living? Or have you been having thoughts of actually hurting yourself? You look so miserable today. Are you thinking of harming yourself? Or are you thinking about suicide? Just directly just asking. If none of these questions sound good to you, then please use whatever phrases works best for you.
Okay, I understand, but shouldn't we leave questions like that to the experts? I mean, you all up in their business. That's a sensitive topic.
Well, suicide prevention is everybody's business. Feeling some reluctance to ask the S question is natural and for good reasons. First, a yes to the S question puts the subject of suicide directly on the table to discuss it. Second, once we ask if they are thinking of suicide and they say yes, then we must act at that point. So we have an obligation that we didn't have only moments ago, okay? So thinking, if you're gonna ask the question, be ready to act. This is what the QPR leads you and what it's all about. So this is good, not bad. Research has shown repeatedly that once people are asked if they are thinking of suicide, they feel relief and not distress. You have come close enough to them to acknowledge a glimmer of their emotional pain. Until now, they have been bearing this pain in solitude. Anxiety decreases while hope increases. A chance to go on living has been offered. It is almost as if by asking the S question, we provide a ray of light where there has been utter darkness, you know, because we don't really know what a person is thinking because we have all these myths. So it's like once you ask that question, they're like, oh, I've been waiting for somebody to ask this because you never know. Because, you know, there could be someone that anybody even see me? Does anybody even know that I'm having these thoughts? Like, why nobody don't even, nobody's not paying attention to me? That, so that even gives them more of a reason to take themselves out, because they're like, now I feel helpless, I'm hopeless, I'm worthless, you know, nobody even sees me, so what's the point of even being here? Because suicide is such a taboo subject, asking that as question may at first seem awkward, yeah, or difficult, but the truth is that you may be the person in the best possible position to recognize the warning signs of a suicide crisis and to prevent it. Because it could very well just be someone that you're friends with, or you see them every day, or just somebody you walk by all the time, you don't really know them, but you notice, you know, and being a Christian and having the Holy Spirit and discernment, you know, sometimes we can feel those things like, you know, what am I feeling? But just sitting down and talking with somebody will let you know kind of what you're feeling. Just as you have the courage to apply the Heimlich maneuver to help a stranger choking on a piece of meat, so too can you apply QPR to someone considering suicide. So here are some guidelines for using QPR. So you can plan a time and a place to ask the question. Try to find a private setting. You don't want to make anybody feel shame. A QPR intervention may take up to an hour, so give yourself plenty of time. The most important step in QPR is asking the question. Let's get that started. It is the hardest step, but also the most helpful. Many people who've just been asked if they are thinking of suicide will have a great need to talk. So you want to check the next step?
Okay, sure. So the next step is to persuade. That's the P. Persuade the person to get help. Now you're going to do this first by listening to them. Listen to their story. So once that question has been asked, most people thinking of suicide, they want to talk. They want to tell you what's going on. And your role is to listen. Listening is the greatest gift that one human being can give to another. Advice is easy. It's quick, it's cheap, and it's wrong. Okay? Listening takes time, patience, and courage, and it's always right. Ask yourself, who do I go to when I need advice? You're seldom going to turn to somebody who lectures you, who's going to tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you need to do. They're shoulding all over themselves. So you're going to ask yourself, I'm going to go to the good listener. Am I going to go to the good listener? So to become a better listener, what do you need to do? Give them your full attention. Don't interrupt. Speak only when the person has finished. Don't rush to judgment or condemnation. And then tame your own fear in here, so you can focus on that other person and not on what you're feeling. Asking the S question, get suicide out in the open. Listen for the problems that death by suicide would solve for them. Then confirm your guesses and suspicions with questions if you need to. So the goal of persuasion, the P, is simple. All we want you to do is get them to agree to get some help. A yes to any of those questions confirms that you might have just saved a life. You can say something like, will you go with me to see a counselor, or a priest, or a minister, a school nurse, a psychologist, whatever kind of professional they're willing to see, get them to agree to it. Will you let me help you make an appointment with? Will you promise me that?
Okay. So inquiring minds, I'm sure, want to know, what do you do if they refuse?
Well, just get that person to agree to go on living. Make a promise contract with them and make a recommitment to life. You can say, I want you to live. I care about you. Won't you please stay alive until we can get you some help? A lot of times that's all it takes. A promise not to hurt or kill themselves and to go on living until help is gotten is most frequently met with relief and an agreement to stay alive. You have to be willing to do something. Just as you wouldn't allow a friend or a loved one to drown or to have a heart attack without helping them, or if they're about to drive drunk, or if they're choking on a piece of meat. You're not just going to stand by and do nothing. So you've got to be prepared to help someone who is thinking about suicide. And if that doesn't work, every county and every state has laws about having them involuntarily committed. Okay, so when you're confronting a friend or a loved one with QPR, remember, it's better to have an angry friend than a dead one.
That's right.
So the last step in QPR is making the referral. So the R is for referral, or connecting your local mental health professionals. This means doing some homework. You should have the names and phone numbers of people you know to be competent and available to help. Enter them in your smartphone or write them on your wallet card. Use these guidelines for an effective referral. And in everybody's folder, we have blowed up a card, which is the national, this one was in, I need the Spanish one, but this is the National Suicide and Crisis Line. So anybody from all over the world can just dial 988 on their phone. They can hit 988 and send a text message. So if they're feeling suicidal or even homicidal, just any type of crisis, you can dial the 988 for them, or they can call 988 themselves, and they will find out where they are and send help. Okay? And just knowing like the mobile crisis number in your area, you can just Google it, mobile crisis. You can get that phone number because every county has their own mobile crisis division, so you can always call them. The best referrals are when you personally make an appointment and take the person you are worried about to a mental health provider or appropriate professional. So you don't want to leave someone alone that just told you that they may be having thoughts of hurting themselves, right? So being able to be that support, be there with them and through the whole entire step process. The next best referral is when the person agrees to see a professional and you help them make the appointment so that you can follow up later to learn that they actually kept the appointment. The third best referral is getting the person to agree to help accept help. Even if in the future, and providing them with specific referral information, most people who are thinking about suicide agree to get help, will act in good faith and get the help that they need. However, because of the stigma associated with accepting counseling or professional help, as we've been talking about all throughout the workshops today, help for disorders of the brain or emotional problems, some people may not follow through. So this is why we recommend that, if possible, you physically take the person to someone who can help, or physically bring someone to them, like remote crisis. So once you use QPR, you will rest much easier if you are sure the person you help has been seen and evaluated by a qualified professional.
Now, if you don't know anybody in counseling, which is not true because you have 2 people right here, 3, you know somebody, you can call your own family doctor. You can also call 211, and that's the state-by-state directory of human services. You can call your community crisis line or a professional mental health organization in your area and ask them for help. So to help you act with courage, here's some things that you need to remember. Don't worry about being disloyal. Don't worry about breaking a trust, and do not worry about having sufficient information for help. If you're in doubt, act, reach out, and don't wait.
Now, at this time, we are going to do a little short demonstration of how QPR might look.
Hey, Monreal, what do you want?
Hey there. So, I was in the neighborhood, came by to see you like I always do. What's going on? How you doing?
Nothing, I'm fine. Ain't you got somewhere you need to be?
No. I'm coming here to see you like I always do. What's going on?
I'm busy.
What you doing?
Busy right now. I'm not gonna be here much longer, so I'm trying to take care of some stuff.
Where you going?
I'm just going away from here.
Okay. So, what you doing with all this stuff?
Like I said, I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I'm leaving here.
Are you going out of town? You gonna book the trip that you didn't invite me on?
Monreal, I'm busy right now.
So, you giving all this stuff away?
Yes, I am.
Huh? You're check yourself before you wreck yourself, shirt. Dr. Spock himself, you not giving this away. That's your favorite.
It is my favorite, but you know what? You can have it. I know you're gonna take care of it.
I can
You'll take care of it while I'm gone. I can't take it where I'm going anyway.
Listen, look at me. Now you know we've been friends forever. You're my best friend. Now, I noticed haven't been yourself lately, and especially when you answer the door, I can just kind of tell something's not right. But, you know, I know I've been busy, haven't been able to call you, but I'm here today, and I just want to know, like, what's going on? Tell me what's going on with you. You know you can talk to me.
You know I have diabetes, and I'm just tired of it. I know you're sick of me complaining to you about it all the time. I'm always having to take shots. I can't figure out how to get my meds right. They're so expensive. I can't figure out how to get my food right. And the pain. I'm just sick and tired of being in the pain all the time. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm just ready to just be done with this. I'm tired of it.
You know you can talk to me.
I tried talking to you. Nobody understands what I'm going through. If you don't have it, you don't understand. So what is her first step?
Listen.
She's listening. What's the next step?
QPR.
QPR.
What's the first step? Yes.
Ask the question. She's done picked up on those triggers. I'm saying I'm leaving. I'm not gonna be here. I'm giving her reasons. I'm telling her my story.
So, I hear what you're saying. But are you, I mean, like, have you been, I see you packing up, you saying you giving away stuff, like, have you had thoughts of hurting yourself or something?
I mean, to be honest, yeah.
I mean, like, have you actually had thoughts of killing yourself?
Yeah. I even have a plan. I know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take my insulin before I go to bed and give myself too much so that I won't wake up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm your best friend.
Oh, yeah.
And I want you to live, I love you. We have so many good times together. I mean, I'm hearing about what you're struggling about, and no, I do not get tired of you complaining about that to me. And no, I don't have diabetes, but you know, I can understand where you're coming from, because you're talking about how you just how to take this medicine, it's so expensive, the meal plans and things like that. Listen. What's the next step? What do I need to do? So listen. First I wanna say this, that all these things you named, those are things that can be fixed, you know. This medication situation, they have patient assistance out there, they have programs where you can get your medication for free, you got programs where you can get it at a discount. I mean, there's help out there. And then as far as the food and everything, I mean, I am your best friend. Now you know, Sundays are like days that I don't really, that's my rest day, but look, I'm willing to come over, we can make a spread, I can buy you some of those little meal plans, little buckets, we can put that food in there. Hey, I work at a doctor's office, so I got all the diabetic stuff that we can look through, they got meal plans, you know, we can do that. How's that sound?
But you can't cook, Monica.
I didn't say all that. If we gotta order from Factor, we can do that. But I'm just saying, you know, just want to let you know I'm here for you. But
So you willing to come on your Sundays and help me prepare my meals for a whole week?
yes, if it will mean that my friend is gonna live, and that you're willing to do that, and that you have something to live for, because that's just showing you that, you know, you're not in this alone.
And you're not gonna tell nobody. You know, telegraph, telephone, tell them on the air.
Now listen. Now if I'm helping you, I'm not gonna tell nobody. But first things first, though. First thing we gotta do is, what's the next step? Yes. So first things first. So we already know what we're gonna do about the food and the medication. So
I'll try it.
now I'm hearing that you have these thoughts, so it's just, you know, I just wanna make sure you're safe, and I wanna make sure that you get the help that you need. And I know that we go to church, I know we got our pastor, we got the ministers.
I don't want the bishop to know.
No, I'm saying, I know we got that. That's not what it's saying. I know we got this, we got all these people in place, and, you know, we can pray and things like that, but, you know, I know you don't want Bishop to, but you know Bishop say, sometimes we need prayer and a psychiatrist too, so, you know, we can.
He'll
get some
fuss at me.
medication. No, he won't, and I won't tell him, you know, this is confidential, this is between me and you.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do, I got a number I can call, that's the mobile crisis, so I'm telling you about that. Mobile crisis is what happens, I'll call them, I'll tell them what's going on with my friend, and I'll give them their information, and then what'll happen is they won't just force themselves on you, they're not just gonna come out of the blue and lock you up and take you away.
Okay.
They will ask, hey, I I need to talk to the person, and they gotta consent for me to come out. So are you willing to do that?
So you're gonna be with me the whole step,
Every
all the
step.
step of the way.
I'll be right here, I'll dial the number, I'll call them for you, let you tell them, I'm gonna stay here till they get here, they come to you, so we don't even have to go anywhere, they're gonna come to you, they're gonna do an assessment, everything is confidential, and then if you need to go somewhere, they'll take you where you need to go. But they'll get here and they'll assess to see if you actually need to be, go somewhere, or they can do a safety plan, which is a little plan that they'll put together for you and I, and then we can, take it from there, so. What do you think about that?
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Okay, all right, so
I
let's.
think
let's
you
do
just
it.
might have saved my life.
That's you.
Can I give you my Star Trek shirt?
All right.
Question,
Yes.
since I am the fiance,
Okay, good.
and just in case, let's say in your ackment that she is, does have a fiance. Alright, now, and y'all best friends, would you tell the fiance?
I will
Or would
ask
you-
her, hey,
Let's
Well,
trace it,
yes, do you want her to just, you know anything about this? If she say no, I don't want him to know, then that's for her discretion.
Okay.
Even though she said, I'm telling mom, yeah, well, I ain't telling. Any other questions?
And, well, not a question, but a comment, the only way that she would tell is if it's harm, if she's going to do the harm to herself or someone else. You have a mandate to report.
Yeah.
Counselors always have a mandate to report if something like that is going on.
And that is report to who I need to report to.
Right.
So like she was mentioning earlier, and when I asked, well, what if they decline, or they say, like, she would've said, no, I'm not going, you can't make me, and she already told me her plan.
Right.
So I can go up to the courthouse, to the magistrate's office, as a friend, family member, you don't have to be a professional. If you go and you have, and the main thing about that is make sure you have all your deputies in the room.
Yeah.
Because the
Yep.
magistrate is like, I'm about to strip them from their rights, so
Right.
you gotta persuade me and prove and tell me, and you gotta be honest, cause you gotta put your hand on the Bible, look at it. Sign a piece of paper, so you better be telling the truth, but there's people that have did it and was not honest, but
Right.
let them know, this is what they said, this is their, being direct. Cause sometimes if you're anything like me, I get a little worried, but just being direct, this is who they are, this is what they said, this is their plan, and when I say, have they did this before? No, but they've been depressed, this is what's going on in their life, and, just convince them that, hey, they might do it. And that's if they actually have a plan, like, actually have my gun over here in the house, I'm doing this, but I'm not going nowhere, making sure they're safe, don't leave them by themselves. You can call the police can sit there with them while you go to the magistrate, but call a mobile crisis, stand there with that person, mobile crisis come, and they'll do all that for you. Because once they come, and if you're there, that person will tend to not tell the mobile crisis responder, no, I didn't say that, if you're there and like, oh yes, they did, Yes.
I like to ask the question. When we talk about helping someone, it's talk personally.
Say that again?
We talk personally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a friend that jumped off a building. Now, why he jumped off that building, I don't know. But I can tell you personally for myself. I was in my bed, and a friend of mine I used to date, she wanted to go to Gastonia. I said, oh, sure, I got up. First we took to probably when nobody there, but when she said, take me around the corner, I said, okay. There was a club around there. So when I took her around the club, this dude came out and he said, hey, man, appreciate you bringing how much over? Woo! The elevator went up. I got to go back across the river bridge. The devil told me to take this car and run it in the river. Only God brought me back across that bridge. Talking personal. You never know. You never know. people jumping off buildings, all that. And the young man I tell you about, he was from Dawson, South Carolina, and he worked for a company. Now, what happened up in that, when he went to, you know, where the office was, I don't know what happened up there, but I do know he walked out on the next floor up higher, and he jumped off. And so that kind of stayed with me for a long time. Okay, I went to school with a young lady, and her mama was a teacher, head of the postman. And they were playing Russian roulette. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's what I'm talking personal to you now, thanks. In school. And she blew her brains out. Only child she had. See? It would have been nice if someone could have got them, but see, that's a game with a bunch of them playing that game. So, see, you never know.
Never know.
And the only way you can get away, you gotta stay away from something like that, but you don't be doing a lot of times, but you can get influenced on some things. So we say,
Oh, yeah.
but when you hear it, I would do that. You don't know what you won't do when you're against it, when you're back against the wall.
That's right, that's right.
That's true. That's real.
I drove a truck. I wouldn't do that if I had mama with me. But I'd do that if I had somebody else with me. You see the big 18-wheeler that will run in space in between? See, you make me mad, and I get with another truck, I'll put you in there. And I will let you out. What you call big wrecks too. That's the reason right now you see cars pass trucks because she's supposed to run a distance. You can't stop 18-wheel on the dime. And you got over 30-some thousand pounds and you rolling. I will say this other part. I'll leave that alone.
Thank you for that. It is. So, you know, the question he was asking, like, if you're feeling suicidal yourself, you know,
Yeah.
and that's really the importance too for the QPR, learning that, because someone could be feeling suicidal and they don't have, like, he just ran and was gonna do it, don't have time to go. Sometimes people can be in that position to kind of see the signs, but in a position that way, just for yourself, knowing that, you know, QPR is not gonna save every life, but if we can just save one life with that, and
One
do it
life.
yourself, you know, as a minister first, call on Jesus, if
Yeah.
you're feeling that way, feeling having in despair, but also, you know, the paper that we have, they call 988, calling a friend, calling somebody, but I know sometimes people that are feeling that way, they won't. They just could be impulsive, or they could come and say goodbye to everybody, but
That's
sometimes they
right.
won't be able to catch them all. But thank the Lord, he caught you, he saw you,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to have QPR.
That's right.
So praise the Lord for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question, when you was helping her through the, process, now, you said we'll call someone. The question came was, when you call someone, they usually can't take them and take them away.
No, no, if you call mobile crisis, what happens is they'll come out, they'll send a responder, they'll do an assessment, it'll take about an hour or so. They kind of assess for everything that's going on. They ask like your whole life history pretty much, very quickly. They're doing that very quickly, trying to figure out what's going on. And they will make that decision, you know, if they say, okay, they're just having thoughts of wishing they were dead, wishing they could go to sleep and not wake up. There's a screening that they do, there's screening that they do. If they get past a certain amount of questions, like if they actually have intent and plan, then they will be like, okay, you have intent, you have plan, it's my professional recommendation that you either take you to the ER, they can call a place, that they can do it directly to me, or just take me to the psychiatric hospital or facility, or, you know, if they say, no, I don't wanna go, if they've already told the mobile crisis responder, they have intent and plan, they are obligated to say, look, how to persuade and convince them to go, but if they can't, if there's no way to kind of get the family involved, if there's no way to get the, like, that's our last thing that we wanna do is actually take it to the ER, cause mobile crisis is a ER, like, they wanna prevent going to the ER, because sometimes you get in there and they're like, oh, they're fine, and sometimes you want to think sometimes they do, and then you get caught up in a lot of stuff. So that's why they have facilities, you can go stay for 7 days, so that's their, it's ER deter, so they try not to take you to the ER, and they do not wanna IVC you, but if they have to, they will for your safety and for their safety, just for you.
Now I know every county is different, but what I've experienced here in Burke County, it used to be a platform where they would they would do an automatic admit at Broughton Hospital. Well, they don't do that anymore.
Right.
So when mobile crisis comes out and they do the assessment and they follow their criteria and they see you have an intent and a plan, they take you to the ED. When you go to the ED, to the emergency room, they have a emergency, they have a floor there that they will monitor you, and then now they've gotten to where you do a lot of telepsych.
Right.
And so this is what I experienced with the telepsych. The telepsych cannot see everything that the patient is presenting. They can only see baseline on that screen. But when they observe them in emergency, they do, most days now the hospitals have a psychiatric ward in the building that they may put you on. And then when you go through that process of them getting you back baseline, if you need further help after that, because they're only gonna keep you for so long, then they'll, refer you out to some other services. If you need to be admitted to Broughton, or if you need to be, if they have beds, you may end up anywhere. And this is by personal experience with a loved one. You just have to see where that person is in their crisis. Because usually, if you have to do an IVC, like you said, you go to the magistrate. But if you don't go to the magistrate, sometimes that person will say, well, hey, I need some help. And they can voluntarily say, hey, yeah, take me to the ED, take me to the emergency room, and let me get some help there. So, and a lot of times that's what we usually like to deal with, is the volunteer part. If they won't noticing that they need help.
So y'all, we couldn't go into depth in this training in just an hour, but we did want to spark your interest in becoming a gatekeeper. If this was beneficial to y'all and you want some more information, then the QPI Institute offers advanced and specialized training that you can go to. They're self-paced and they're online, so if you're interested in getting more information about that and actually getting trained in it with a certificate, you can go on there and do it. I think it's like $39, so it's not expensive at all. And we gave you a swag bag, and in your swag bag, that's the nationwide ribbon for suicide awareness. When we have Suicide Awareness Month, wear that ribbon. We gave you several so you can give them out to people, promote that awareness. And then we also gave you a pen to wear, we gave you a pen to write with, and then we also gave you chocolate for being a good audience. We just want y'all to remember that even Christians struggle with suicide, but they also have faith. Faith and suicide can exist side by side, but that doesn't mean that it needs to be something scary. So a person who has faith and they experience suicidal ideation, that's the same as a person who doesn't have faith and experiences suicidal ideation. Treat them the same. They're both still people that are struggling. So show them the same love and respect that you would with anybody else showing a mental illness. We have to let them know that help is there and you're not alone. So when you're applying QPR, you're going to be planting those seeds of hope. You're going to be a warrior. So it's a hopeful technique, and more than anything else, hope reduces the risk of premature death by suicide.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for your attention.
All right. Great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good information.
Thank you. That was a wonderful so much. And I just want to, kind of reiterate the fact that this is important not only for adults, this is very important for children. Just had a family member not a month ago. The young girl was 11 years old, and while her mama was gone, she went in the closet and hung herself. Her mama had to come back and find her dead in the closet.
Oh, Lord.
And that's at 11 years old.
Yeah,
You wouldn't think an 11-year-old is even thinking about that kind of thing.
that's right.
But you never know what has influenced their life. You never know what they've come in contact with. So please, ma'am, please, sir, let's take this information, let's share what we can, and let's be on guard. Even with people who we think are the strongest people in the world, you just never know when they may be contemplating taking their own life.
That's
So
right.
thank you again. We appreciate that so much. And again, it was a great job, and congratulations! Goodness. All right, so if you all would just take 5, and let me get our next presenter set up, and we'll be ready. Is that okay?
Right.
Thank you so much.
I don't see how y'all do it up there with them lights. It is hot.
ain't here. If she was here, I would not do that. That's them all. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you trying to get it. I'm hungry, Daddy. And I said, we'll find something. And the cookout was over. Yeah, what? I think we're in. Mine with a double burger, fries, knowing I got to go to bed. Boy, I ate all that. And the bed, my stomach blowed up. That's 2 o'clock I was asleep. No, Daddy, come here early. Well, you know. She tell me, I ain't buying no more. You need to lose some weight. I said, I'm on a seafood diet. What you mean by seafood? I said, I see more food than I see diet. That's what I tell her.
I don't come up no higher than not. Pastor, let me see. Give me a little bit higher. Oh, okay. I don't think I can come up no further beyond. Okay, you sure? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to pull it up the other day and the whole thing come out.
Well, I mean, it ain't warm, but I could feel like that.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and let Pastor and Lady Roberts get started. We are glad that they are here with us. They're going to give us some information on insurance and finance. And let's give them a hand as they come.
Amen. Thank you guys for having us, Bishop Hooper, and I see some other familiar faces in here. How you doing?
All right, pretty good.
So, and congratulations to the couple that just got engaged. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. I think you guys are gonna get a lot from this, talking about financial literacy. And so we're just excited that we can share our passion. One of the things that God has tasked us with for the body of Christ is to teach them about financial literacy. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about ourselves. So my husband and myself have actually been in the financial service industry for about 18 years. And so we love to teach people how to build generational wealth. So I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna learn something today. And we have along one of our agents, Miss Stacy Burrs, and she is gonna pass out some handouts, because if you see something that piques your interest and you wanna learn more about it concerning financial literacy, I want you to go ahead and fill out that survey sheet as we're kinda going through, so that you can, we can get back with you. Does that make sense? All right, and we have some pens. Stacey will give them, okay, some of those pens. And I'll give her a minute to go through. Y'all do me a favor, because them taco salads was good. Can everybody just stand? And let us, I told Lady Hooper, I said, okay. But she said it's convocation, you can have taco salad. All right, and if you can, just breathe in. Breathe out. All right, so you are preparing yourself to be able to receive and wake up a little bit. How you doing, Mother? Good, good. Awesome. All right, I think everybody has it. Okay, and then she'll give you some pens. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. so they talked about mental health, so we're gonna go down that same vein and talk about financial health. Is that all right? All right, so would you guys believe 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck? If that's you, just blink, don't raise your hand.
I'm reading my hand.
All right. Of the 61% of Americans with credit card debt, 23% say they're going deeper into debt every month, and 14% report having missed at least one payment in 2023. Now, this one was very alarming. Nearly half, 48% of Americans have no life insurance coverage at all. And when you think about that, if they're already struggling with debt, if the breadwinner passes away, what do you think that number does? It doubles, right?
That's right.
60% of Americans have saved less than $50,000 for retirement. The majority, 36%, only has put away $10,000 for their retirement. Now, how long do you think you can stay retired with less than 10 grand? About a month?
About a month, less than a month.
So now, would you say these are some serious financial challenges that we're dealing with today? So let's talk about why so many people are having so many financial challenges. And here's the reason. Most people have not gotten a financial education. Is that normally the topic of discussion in our houses? Not really. Not most, right?
That's right.
Most don't have a financial game plan,
Right.
and the majority don't have a financial coach. So the results are in. This is some serious challenges that mainstream families are dealing with. But the good news is we got the solution. Okay, so we're gonna talk about, what the solution looks like. And the solution is you gotta build your own financial house. So has anybody ever witnessed a house being built?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you think they start from the top up or from the bottom down?
Top to bottom go up.
Bottom up, right?
That's right.
And why do you think they start at the bottom?
That's the foundation.
You gotta have a solid foundation.
That's right.
And your finances work the exact same way. So when it comes to building your financial house, the first thing you have to do is you have to protect where you are. And the way that you do that is you protect your income.
Right.
How many have insurance on your cars? If you're buying a home, do you have insurance on it?
Oh, yeah.
Most people have renter's insurance now.
That's right.
But the very thing that affords us our home and our car, which is our income,
Insurance, that's right.
most people never insure.
That's right.
So what we're doing is we're teaching people how to insure their income, and the most simplest way to do that is through term life insurance. And the rule of thumb is you need 8 to 10 times your annual income, so if something happens,
That's right.
if your family invests that money, they can have your income for life.
Something to live off.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So now that you've got your foundation in place, the next step is you gotta have a budget. Most people think that's a nasty word, right? Budget, you don't wanna hear about that, right? But then you need to have an emergency fund.
Yeah.
So think about how many people when COVID happened, do you think had emergency savings? Did COVID turn this world upside down? And so the rule of thumb is you need at least 3 months of your living expenses at all times in emergency fund. And then we need to have a will. How many have you ever known someone to pass away and the family was in disarray? Do you not know if they had a will, everything will be in alignment?
Would have been much more
Does
alive.
that make sense?
That's right.
And you can get a will, so that's why I'm gonna leave some information on that. You can get a will as low as, if you're a member of a legal protection plan, as low as $28 a month. So then you can have it updated every single year for free. Does that make sense? Now, next thing we wanna do is we wanna start paying off some debt. That is the cancer of this here United States of America, right? So think about it. How many people have a plan? They really didn't have a plan when they got into debt, but once you're in there, you definitely better have a plan to get out of it. Does that make either we're going to die too soon, okay, or we're gonna live too long. I know that sounds funny, live too long, right?
No,
But if you run out of money,
you go die anyway.
that's what they mean by you live too long. Does that make
That's
sense?
right.
So let's talk about it. Here's a prime example. Young couple, had a small child, both making monthly income about $3,500 a month. Okay? So together they're making about $7,000. What are some normal bills that most families have? Do they have the mortgage? Cars with an S most of the time?
Oh, yeah.
Insurance, credit cards, utilities, groceries, and child care.
Yeah,
That could be an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month.
that's right.
Okay? So those monthly bills equal $7,000. And then we have in the red, because most people haven't been educated that they need insurance on their income at the top. When you look at all those things, what is one thing that a family would pay every month that would make sure all the rest of the bills get paid?
Mortgage.
The only bill up there that would make sure all the rest of them got paid if something was to happen is the income protection.
That's right.
Does that make sense? But normally, it's the last thing. So let's say something tragic happens. Johnny's on his way to work. He has an accident, it's fatal, and he passes away.
Right.
What immediately stops? His income. But who continues to live? Family and children.
Yeah.
So their bills though are not $3,500. How much are the bills? So what would this family potentially lose? Everything.
Yeah.
And so when you look at that, this is why we have to make sure that we're making sure that we have the foundation, which is the income protection. Does that make sense? Because nobody really looks at this picture until it happens. But do you guys know at any given point this could be any of our picture?
That's right.
Does that make sense? So this is the challenge that most people are looking at. When it comes to ensuring your income or protecting your greatest asset, when we think about life insurance, people fall in one of four categories when it comes to insurance. Number one, I see a lot of families with no coverage. Okay? Unfortunately, there's a GoFundMe on social media every other day. Somebody passed away with no life insurance.
That's right.
And I have been on that spectrum with my family, and so that's why I went into this field. And when you look at it though, those families have a lot of uncertainty, fear, and worry, because now they have to try to figure out what can they do with those kids that are left behind, what can they do with the wife who's now a widow, because the income wasn't replaced.
That's right.
Does that make sense? And then we see families who have limited coverage, meaning they only have insurance on their job. That's like a group policy. But if they were to lose their job, what else would they lose? 98% of the time, they're gonna lose their insurance,
That's right.
right? And this is the sad part. If their health changes, now guess what they can't qualify for?
That's right. That's right.
They can't qualify for insurance.
No.
So that puts the family at risk. And then so that's why group insurance is considered limited coverage, because it's limited based on what the job will allow you to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then we see families with mortgage or either credit insurance, and the bank is actually the beneficiary, because if something was to happen, it's tailor made to pay the home off or either pay the debts off. Does that make sense?
Right.
There's no wealth being transferred to the family.
No.
So there's really only two types of life insurance. There's cash value insurance, which basically gives you some form of protection. It builds a savings, but it's at a much higher cost. And then there's term insurance, which is basically peer protection, and it's actually gonna give you an option to replace your income, and it's at a much lesser cost. Does that make sense? So I wanna put a push pin right here, because since we're doing this convocation, how many know that pastors normally do this full-time? Or they're bivocation, which means that they may work a full-time job, but they also have to put a lot into ministry. Does that make sense? And full-time ministry. And so, if they are not covered with life insurance and investments and they do ministry full-time, that leaves their family wide open. And that not only goes for the pastor, that also goes for anybody, musicians that are full-time in the ministry. Does that make sense? So just like a job offers benefits to their employees, one of the things that we have been teaching to the body of Christ is, if we take care of the set man and woman of the house, and they didn't tell me to say this, but this is what I teach, okay? If we take care of the set man and woman of the house and make sure that they have life insurance and investments, they don't have to work as hard outside of the ministry.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because they have to take care of their families just like we do.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
That's right.
And so it's important that we put those things in place. So the question that I want you guys to ask yourself is, how do you currently protect your family? Would you say you have no coverage? Would you say you have limited coverage, meaning you only have insurance through the job? And if that's the answer, if you were to lose your job, what's next?
What's next? That's right.
Does that make sense?
That's right.
So we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna talk about, and I'm gonna bring my husband up, to finish this portion of it. And we're gonna talk about the difference between cash value and term insurance. How many feel like you know the difference between cash value insurance, which most people know it as whole life and term? Anybody? Okay. All right. Well, this is gonna be a good session. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Break it down to it.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. Y'all give it up for my lovely wife, Miss Kimberly Roberts. Awesome. Awesome. God is good, y'all.
Amen. All the time.
Yeah, and all the time he's what?
He's good.
It's good, it's good, it's good. So,
Yeah.
as we continue on, I think my wife told you a little bit about, how we got started, things like that. But when we look at this part, because there's only two types of life insurance out there. We're gonna start on the left side. You got your cash value life insurance. Also, the main word you may know it for is whole life insurance, universal life, or even what we call variable life. All right, and then on the right side you got buy to invest the difference. And so, once I present these two, tell me which one would you choose just by hearing them and seeing what it says. So we got John and Mary. They got $100,000 on each. Spend about $225 a month. Both of them age 35, pretty young. All right, and over a 30-year period, it's going to grow to right at $76,000 in that cash value account. Are y'all pretty familiar with cash value? Just that word or savings? Oh, good. So with this, in this example, cash value is like a form of savings bundled with life insurance. You got me?
Compound.
Good, yeah, compounded with it. And so, and so with that, it says you pay for two things, but you only get what? One. This is what it means. So,
Yeah.
Ladies in the room, let's say you went to your favorite shoe store, and man, you found them shoes you've been looking for, man. You excited, and guess what? You get to the cash register, and guess what? You pay for the shoes, and the cashier looks and makes sure left and right is in there. But right when you pay for them, they take the right shoe out and put it back on the back side, and then give you the left shoe and tell you have a good day. How would you feel?
Upset.
Tell upset. Why you upset? Why you upset?
Yeah.
Good. So you paid for two pairs. I mean, you paid for the left and the right, but they only gave you one. Same thing here. This is what it means. Anytime you're dealing with whole life insurance, listen. Number one says if you pass away, if you die, you lose all your savings. This is what it means. If John passed away, his wife Mary would get the $100,000, but guess what? The company keeps everything in the cash value, which is $76,000. Is that good or bad? That's bad. You got me. How, would you be excited about giving away $76,000? No. Number two, if you found out that it worked that way, and it said you took out all the money out of the cash value yourself because you found out it worked that way. Guess what? If you don't pay the money back in 30 days, now they cancel the $100,000. Is that good or bad?
That's right.
Bad.
That's right.
Number three, if you take out Sunker, have you ever heard people say they can borrow from their own policy before?
Yeah.
All right, good. Our culture is plagued with this issue of getting whole life policy, just called it the terminology of borrow, but not understanding the word borrow means loan. All right, That's where you get. That's where we talking about when you talking about debt.
Debt.
Debt comes from loan,
Right.
comes with interest rates.
Right.
So if you take out some of the savings, you have to borrow it, and then you got guess what? You put the money in there. You pay for the insurance
That's
and you
right.
put the savings. But now I gotta borrow my own savings out and then pay back more money into it. You know, just to get it back where it was. You got me? But listen. You have to borrow that with interest, and also, let's say in this example, if John borrowed out, let's say he borrowed out 30,000. Guess what he did? Guess what he did? He didn't tell his wife neither. He didn't tell Mary. He didn't tell her. Oh, he in trouble. But he borrowed 30. Let's say he passes away before he before he get the money paid back. You got me? Now, if he passes away, we already know. Listen. The company's they're gonna get their money.
They go get
They get the money. So before they give Mary 100,000, you got me? Cause the death benefit is what? 100,000. So she's looking for 100. All right, but she didn't know her husband borrowed from her. Or even if she did, it don't matter. They still gonna get their money. So they said, "Oh, Mary, listen, y'all borrowed 30,000 out, so we gonna take the 30 from the 100, even though you just lost your husband. We don't. This is just rules of insurance. We don't get emotionally tied, so we don't care about that. As the insurance company, we gonna take the 30. All right, but guess what? There's some interest added on to the 30 as well.
Yeah.
So now the interest may grow to 35 or 40,000, whatever. So before you get the 100, man, we gonna give you 60,000. How you think Mary feels? Now, good, you got me.
Not too bad.
And so that and gets worse because where our culture has the average whole life policy is anywhere between 10, 15, maybe 20,000 because it's expensive. So if a loved one borrow from that smaller policy and they don't pay it back before the loved one passes away, and then they end up passing away, all that interest accumulated, they end up not having enough life insurance just to bury a loved one. Have you ever seen a family member, you thought your grandma had enough coverage, but then she passed away and there's not that much in there but about $1,000, $2,000 left in that policy. You got me? And so we're going to jump to the right side. So the right side says buy term and invest the difference. So now here's the kicker. So now John and Mary, term is cheaper than whole life, so there's about triple the cover to $250,000 versus $100,000. Lower that monthly premium to $80 a month versus $225. How many of y'all would love to save money? Good. Give me so awesome. So listen, savings of $145 a month. What do most people do when they free up $145 a month? Blow it. Good. So we said, hold up. Before you do that, let's put together a game plan. You got me? What did my wife say in the beginning? We need a financial coach. All right, somebody coach us through. So if you coach me to save $145 a month, you're talking about 9% interest. That our goal is to teach you how to invest that money, not with the insurance company, but with an investment firm separated. All right. So now, by the time you retire, you got over $265,000 saved. So if you just look at the top part. Let's say, ladies, would you rather for your family or your spouse or whatever, would you rather be left $100,000 or $250,000? $250,000. All right. Would you rather everybody? Would you rather have saved up $76,000 or have a potential to save $265,000? So you get everything you pay for. If you pass away, let's say John passed away, family gets both. They get the insurance and the savings now because it's not bundled together. You got it. If you take out your savings, had nothing to do with your life insurance again because they're two separate entities. All right, number 3, you don't have to borrow your own money. You withdraw out your investment and your insurance coverage stays the actual same. You got me? And so, which program would you want, the left side or the right side? Right side. So listen, so the question is, why do a high percentage of us have the left side? See, it says in the word, we perish for lack of what? Knowledge. See, when we don't have if we had knowledge, we can make a better decision on what to do with our money. You got me? Our goal is to bring the knowledge. You got me? After we bring knowledge, up to you what you do with it. You got me? And so with that, so what the issue with terms that some people have, they say, well, listen, what's going to happen at the end of my term? Is that somebody's question here? I know you got that question. So you got a 10-year term, 20-year, 30-year, 35-year term, something like that. So what happens at the end? Because I heard that my policy cancels at the end of the term. No, it don't cancel. You have an option to renew it, but this is what we do. In this example, at age 65, they saved up for 30 years, correct? Correct. So now our goal is, hey, listen, we want to work with you between now, age 35 to retirement, all right? Because if you look from a job standpoint, When you retire from your job, do your insurance go with you? No, you got me. They taught the same principle of getting a term policy and guess what? Invest different on the job. They tell you to get a 401k, correct? So they want you to get a term policy for as long as you are working there. Then when you retire, you should have enough money saved in your 401k to replace your insurance needs. You see, who in the room want to pay for life insurance their whole life, or pay for anything their whole life? Now, do you want to pay for your car your whole life?
No.
What about your house?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Then why should we pay for insurance our whole life?
But now, I'm looking at that. It used to be, it just kind of dropped down a little bit. Older people had a policy with a $10,000 policy. All right. Now, that's all,
Yep.
because that's all they knew.
Right.
But you can't go with 55 now. It's up to 70. Different. And so, if you never been taught to save,
Right.
you won't save.
Right.
And you hit on something a few minutes ago. I didn't say nothing, I just sat there. And you were talking about the preacher. Don't you know, if everyone in the church would pay the 10%, the preacher went out to work.
Oh wait, that's I ain't got there yet.
He would have to put out things. That's a hard thing for some people, but not the one that does it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about tithe.
Yeah.
I used to didn't tithe, and I ain't gonna lie to you, because I'm in the house of God. But once I started tithing, because I was retired now. But when I was working,
Yeah.
I didn't think gonna be no money for me to retire. Cause then they put the rate up to 70. 55, I said, boy, I got it made now. The devil is alive. So, you own the money.
Yeah.
And thank God for your knowledge of what you ought to tell others about it. Because you never know. If you never came back, we never would know.
Anyway, I'm gonna get to that title in just a second.
I know you.
And so when you look at what we teach you how to do, we work with you, put together a great financial plan. We say between now and retirement, you need to have this much coverage. All right, but as you get when you get retirement, you should have saved up enough money to take care of your insurance needs. You got me? And so that's kind of what we're able to do, and that's on this next screen right here. And so what we teach you how to do is to take, so we close out right here with the investment side by term investment difference on the investment side. So on the investment side of it, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the whole thing so you see it. There you go. So we teach you to become an owner and not a loaner. All right. And what that kind of means is because, you know, we were just taught to take our money, all right, and then put it inside of savings accounts, CDs, cash value life insurance policies, which we know give low rates of return. All right. But listen, we teach you how to bypass the middleman and put your money into the global economy. All right. Because we've been so fearful of investing money, but not knowing that, hey, listen, if you don't invest money, you got me, you will not retire if you don't do it. You follow me? But now listen, how many of y'all heard Rule 72? Good, not many? Awesome. So what it is just it's an investment principle that's out there. It says if you divide your interest rate into 72, you will get the approximate number you take for your money to actually double. How many of y'all have a savings account at the bank? Savings account. Good. How many of y'all got 401k? All right, good. How many of y'all know the interest rate on your savings right now? Interest rate? None. Don't worry about it. I didn't need them until somebody brought to my awareness. How many of y'all know the interest rate on your 401k? All right, good. The reason, see, this is so important because you want to know the interest rate of how the money grows. You got me? Because if you don't understand how money grows, then you won't know what to expect in retirement. You got me? So, example, most savings accounts, you can look at your state employees, welfare, no matter what you're at. Any savings is going to average between 0.01 to maybe 3%. If they're getting 3, they're doing good. All right, but normally between 1.1 to maybe 0.5%. But if you get 3%, you take an interest rate divided into 72. That's going to give you 24 years in this example. So even if you had $10,000 in that savings giving you 3% over 24, 48 years, you got $40,000. Listen, can you retire with 40,000? No. Now look at 6%. 6% used to represent things like CDs. Y'all heard of CDs?
Right.
All right, good. CDs don't get that much today, but if you take 6 and 7, it's going to double every 12 years. Same thing, retirement, you got 160,000 after 48 years. Can you retire with 160,000 and stay retired? No, you got me. The saddest thing could be is that money's going to run out in about 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
All right, use it. Yep, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And guess what? How would you feel at the age of 68 and 69 filling out resumes again?
That's probably what's happened, because you see a lot
Yeah.
of the geriatric community.
Exactly
working
right.
jobs.
Right.
It's sad.
And so now look, 12%. 12% represents things like mutual funds. 12 going to 72 every 6 years. Retirement time, you got $2.5 million saved. So if you had a choice between 3, 6, and 12, where would you rather save your money at for long term? 12%, you got me? But guess what? Let me tell you what the banks do with our money. They encourage us to put our money into 3%. Why? Because after 48 years, they don't mind writing you a check for 40,000 because they invested our money at 12. So right when they gave me and you 40, they walked away with 2.5 of whose money?
That's right. That's right.
Now is that good or bad? It's bad. Again, why? It's cause of lack of what? Knowledge we don't know.
That we didn't know.
And so it says, how do we win the game if we don't know the what? Don't know the rules.
Yeah.
If I don't know the rules to the money game, you got me, we'll always stay behind. It don't matter, it go from the church house to your home. You got me?
Would that operate like stock?
The 12% is more like mutual funds.
Mutual fund?
Yeah,
Okay.
but a stock, it does the same thing because it goes by shares. Yeah, it goes by shares.
Yeah.
Who would benefit from learning this rule? Everybody. Don't matter your color, no matter. Everybody can learn from this shit. So shouldn't we have learned this in school? You got me? So we should learn this right here in school. You got me? Because when you're in school, they teach us a lot of stuff,
They do.
but they don't teach us how to manage what?
Money.
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 Us.
Right.
That's like money.
So without introducing us to family and friends, who would learn of the actual rule of 72? And then, because I like this one, because of everybody may not have 5,000 or 10,000 starting investment.
Right.
And they wonder, can they still build wealth? And we let them know, yes, you can. And by teaching what we call the power of compound interest. And so with this right here, very important because it lets everybody know how many on the room, how many of us waste $25 a week doing something? You got me? So imagine this right here. If you save $100 a month, this is a 40-year game plan. So imagine if you was able to talk to maybe your son or your daughter at the age 25 and they invested just $100 a month. They got discipline to do that.
Yeah.
Look how it grows. At 3%, 92,000.
Yeah.
6%, 200,000. But look at this. At 12%, just by saving $100 a month, they got over $1.1 million saved. You got me? So now, here's the big question. Now, with anybody in the room, would you love to be on track right now to have 1.1 in your retirement years?
If you would look at that, see like a man to smoke.
Uh-huh.
A pack of cigarettes now is $7.
Oh, gosh.
No,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
$7 a pack just for a pack of cigarettes. It used to be, you get it for about 25 cents a pack.
No, not anymore.
So you own the money, but see, you never been taught that.
Yeah.
That's the reason the rule of thumb, they made money, you trying to get money.
Yeah.
If you'd been taught to save when you were younger, up until you get 55, you have big time money.
Right.
But guess what? You can die too.
Mm-hmm.
You still ain't got nothing.
And I want y'all to think about this as well. Imagine, do y'all know the tenets of most of our churches, the years, how long our church has been around?
Uh-huh.
What if our churches was investing money at the same time?
Oh, boy.
Do you know what our churches could look like if they was investing money?
That's right.
And then say this. Do you think most people, though, are retiring 1.1? This is very important. Because look on the left side. We just said, everybody in the room, I said, would you like to be on church and retire 1.1? What did everybody say?
Yes.
Everybody, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you think most people are retiring there? So our cause, our crusade to find out what happened from 100% over here saying yes, but then over here, most people are not ending up here.
That's right.
You got me? So our goal is to bridge that gap to make sure that, hey, listen, can we get into enough households that, hey, listen, to get the message out there, you got me, so that most people have a chance or crusade to do that best to get here. You got me?
Right.
And so let's put this all together. So now we call this theory of decreased responsibility. So this is how life works. I don't care who you are in the financial game. In the early years, you may need a lot of coverage. Because today, we have young kids, high debt, house mortgage. Listen, loss of income will be what? Devastating.
Yep.
And that's the part my wife covered.
Right.
All right? Because in the early years, we may not have a lot of money saved up in the early years. But guess what? As we proceed in life, later in years, guess what? You better have some what? Money.
Because you learn.
Yeah, definitely because of that. So at retirement, listen, your children are grown, lower debt. Listen, all of these, listen, when you say children are grown, you should be saying hallelujah right there.
That's right.
Lower debt, that's why you should be shouting when your debt is mortgage is paid. You got me. That's when you say, amen. You got me. The retirement income is needed now because in the later years you may not need a lot of coverage now because these things are non necessity. The purpose of life insurance is to take care of these needs on the left side.
Yes.
But as you get older, your purpose for life insurance decreases because you should have money saved on this side. You follow me?
Right.
And that's what we have not been taught. We was taught to have life insurance our whole life, but to not, what you said earlier, save money. You follow me? So right quick, this is who we are. We help families get properly protecting life insurance, start investing for the future, learn how to become debt-free, earn additional income. One of the largest financial firms out there with over 130,000 licensed representatives, listed on the New York Stock Exchange, stock symbol is PRI. Been in business since 1977. More than $5 million insured, 2 million investment clients. And then here's everything that we do. On the left side, what my wife mentioned, we do legal protection plan, senior health care, do life insurance. We also now are able to help families get a mortgage in place, auto and homeowner insurance, and help families set up baby home security systems. At the bottom, now this is everything that we do as far as investing money, mutual funds, annuities, managed accounts, and business retirement accounts. And so when you look at that, we're able to put together a whole financial portfolio for households today.
Right.
You got me? And so as I finish out, that's our concepts of what we do. But now just to give y'all a little bit of education on what we call pay yourself first. So now I'm coming to you right here. So now, on managing money, either you gonna manage money or what? Money will manage you.
That's right.
All right. And so number one, you gotta set some priorities. All right. Number two, discipline yourself to follow those priorities, and then manage distraction because there's always something gonna always come up to try to keep you from saving money. I don't care. It's something gonna always come up.
Yeah.
And so down here, this is just an actual game plan that you can put together. You can do it with you. You can teach your child when they first get their any type of chore they're doing or had their own, a first job or whatever, either around the house, whatever. First is 10% what? Tithe. 10% tithe. 10% tithe. Number two, pay yourself. What?
10%.
Now, that's another place we don't see. We've been taught to tithe 10%, but we didn't know what to do with the what? The 90.
That's right.
All right, you know what to do with it.
That's right.
So now, take 10% and pay yourself as well. How you think it will feel to pay you sometime?
Right.
We know you got the paycheck,
Yeah.
but most time your paycheck goes to pay the bills.
Pay the bill.
And we never pay ourselves.
That's right.
All right? Then said live on 70. What if we was taught when we first got the job or started getting bills to live off of 70 and not the whole paycheck? Live off of 70%. Pay it, and now if you got some debt, take another 10% to pay down your debt. So you got 10% tithe, 10% pay yourself, 20%, 10% pay off debt is 30 plus 70. Now you got the 100% right there. But guess what? Invest 50% of what you save. So if I'm paying myself 10%, example, so if I'm making $3,000 a month, that means 300 is paying tithes, all right? Another 300 I'm paying myself. Got it? And so now, if I split 300 in half, cause invest 50% of my 300, that means 150, guess what? That's what I'm investing. All right, that's what's going to my investment. If you multiply 150 times 12 months in a year, man, you got over $1,800 at the end of the year saved up. All right, that's not counting any interest. All right, so how would you feel being able to have $1,800 just saved up on the side and have no allocations to it, just because you were disciplined enough to get it done?
But guess
You
what?
got me? Yeah.
Now switch it around. Instead of saving 10%, save 90%. Then you got more money.
Yeah, that's right. So
That's right.
if you don't have no debt,
But
you
you
can
don't do
increase
that.
that.
That's right. That's right.
Good. And so the great thing about if you teach youth that equation, then tithing 10, guess what? That pay yourself, that increases now to save more.
That's right.
So it's just according to where you are in life. But the thing is, if you have no systematic way of your finances, the Bible said to count of the costs. If you don't have no game plan, the Bible said the plans of the diligent lead to profit. If you don't have no game plan, you got me? God has for I know the plans that I have, God has a game plan. For some reason, we don't put together the game plan. You got me? We got to put together some game plans as well.
See, your game plan now is 10%.
That's what.
No, that's it. You go, see?
That's it.
That's it. And you know what? No, you're right. I'm not trying to throw you off your game. But it's true. Right? I'll tell you right now, if you pay your 10%, that'd be so and so. But you're not really looking at it because you got mindset problems. But you don't think about that. You don't. Just like I was saying about paying your tithe. Don't you know if it was taken out of your check every payday and you never see it, it wouldn't bother you. But if you can see it, you ain't even want to pay it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't pay it all the bills, I still ain't got no money.
It's called not having a
But
plan.
if you do what God planned, you always have.
Right. Right.
I know who you at, and I'm not trying to throw you off the game.
Oh, you good.
But you're on the money. And thank God for your knowledge. Because what you got, everybody don't have. Like I told you, I'm not trying to trip you up.
Oh, you right. Good.
But the saints need to know that too. You could sell them. I'll give you that. You didn't know what you know until you know.
Right. Right.
He knows and knows, he knows, he knows. But he didn't know the think he knows, he just don't know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So you better know something.
I would cheat on me when I say that. But it's true.
Yeah.
Saints, we're lacking of knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's where you here today to put us on the right track.
Right. Right.
If we never come, we'll never know. But what you do know, you share.
Right. You share it.
And when you leave here, you can say, I told them. They can do it. And they know how.
Just plant the seed. Just plant the seed.
One thing about it. You're going to move up Giant's Hill. Why? Because you did what God told you to do. The thing about it is, you know what it is? It's being obedient. And sometimes that's hard for some people.
Yeah.
Just like when your daddy told you, say, boy, so and so and so and so. Well, your mama. And then she says, if you got a good daddy, then you better not tell your daddy. But when your daddy come home, you're going to get it. I rather my mama whoop me with my daddy. Because I told you she's going to mess with you. I told you. But I like what you're saying.
Bless you. Bless you.
I'm going to do it, babe. That's my baby. See, didn't I tell you? She wants me to breathe. Get what she told me, to stop talking, let them talk. I told you.
But and the reason why he wants to have a plan in place, and because anytime you follow the order, you know, when you look at the very beginning in Genesis, he created day one, God created heaven and earth.
Yeah.
Day two,
Yeah.
day three.
Yeah.
You know, every single day he has a plan for each day. On day 6, he made who? Man.
Man.
Day 7, he rested. Do y'all think he just happened, did he just did it, or did he have a plan in place for each day? He planned it, you got me? And he planned it so well that it continues. Life continues over and over. Listen, when you plan something, guess what? You don't have to stay on top of it because it becomes a systematic way of doing life.
That's right.
So when you teach your kids, it becomes systematic. Because guess what? They following your example because it was a plan that was instituted in your household and you did it from your heart with a passion. So they following now you. The same way we follow God in a systematic way. You got me? So that's why it's important for the church to know how to plan with our finances. So now, because if we don't handle our finances, that's why the whole world is in trouble right now, because we don't handle our finances. So when we get on track with our finances, man, listen, let me tell you something. So steps to budgeting. Record all monthly income. List all monthly expenses. So on that, the one that says this right here, how much is enough? On the inside, there's like a budget, a mini budget worksheet on there that you can use to list out all your expenses on that. What did you ask about? To list out all your expenses on that one. Audit your spending, man. Listen. You have to become a self-auditor in your household. Tracking what you spend. I know it ain't fun all the time, but yes, you need to track what you spend for at least 3 months so that you know on the average of what's going out. Develop a plan. Snowball your debt. Does everybody know what snowball your debt means? All right, good. So if you got 3 debts, all right, let's say you're spending $100 for your credit card, you're doing $200 for your just whatever. Give me another debt that's out there. $200. Give me.
Light bill.
Huh?
Light bill.
Not light bill. Something getting interest.
Credit
All right. So let's say credit card $100. Credit card 2 is $200. Let's say credit card 3. Let's say you're paying like some furniture bill.
That's right.
1, 2, 300. All right. So once you get the $100 one paid off, what do most people do when they free up $100?
They keep it.
Spend it. So now, but instead of doing that, add that same $100 payment to the $200 that you were spending now payment. So now you're spending $300 a month instead of $200 on that payment. Right. You snowball your debt. You discipline yourself to continue to do the same thing over until you get that debt paid off. You pay off debt 2. Now you freed up $200 and another $100 still. Now you take the total $300, add it to the $300 debt. So now you're paying $600 versus $300. You got me? So now you get debt free in lesser time than just paying them off just the basic payment plan. Right. You got me? So snowball your debt. Now, 3 types of account. This is very important. So my wife mentioned the first one over here. And I talked to a lot of youth about starting these early. Because you want to have an emergency account saved up, number 1, which is a minimum of 3 months. So if you make $2,000 a month, the goal is to have anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 saved up in your emergency account for emergency. Because how many of y'all know things happen right quick that cost money?
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, short-term account. Up to 6 months worth. That's if you're saving for a down payment for a home, down payment on a car, whatever. Short term. All right. Wealth building. That's like you saving for your 401k, your retirement plans, or even college funds for your kids. So now with those, the difference is this: your emergency account, it don't gain but like 1 or 3% because it's built for liquid money that you need immediate money when you need it. Number 2, short term, average anywhere between 4 to 6% interest. And then your wealth building average anywhere between, you're looking at 9 to 12% interest. All right? And so, but you want to have these 3 set up some type of way in your life. And then listen, so and when you have those set up, you have to decide as well, what type of investor are you? All right? Conservative just means, are you the type of person that you don't want to take no risk at all with your money? All right? You just that person that, listen, I want my 100. I don't want nothing to happen to my $100 right here. so that's conservative person. You got me. Moderate person. That person said, listen, I understand risk and reward, so I'm willing to risk a little bit to get a little bit of reward. That's moderate. Aggressive means, listen, I understand the money game and how investment work, And so I don't mind taking a big risk. 'Cause I know big risk means bigger reward. All right. So that's what those three mean. So when you sit down with the investor, they're gonna ask you, what type of investor are you? And this is how the game plan really looks for all three. In the accumulation side, most aggressive people, all right, is in this age range from 18 to 55. So this is the reason why, because between these ages, you got enough time that if you lose money, you can gain it back. All right. And so now, but in the protection side of life, 15 to 65, 55, 65, you're more moderate in that area, because now guess what? You're getting close to retirement and you can't risk losing a lot of money. You got me? And then on the last end, age 65 and plus, you got me. Now you're looking at more conservative side, because why? Now you're looking to live off of the money that you've accumulated over that time frame. You got me? And so we're able to sit down and put together a game plan so you have what? A comfortable retirement plan for what? Your life. And then this one is a awakening to say, man, listen, wow, look, I've wasted so much. It says pay yourself first, because it's when you don't, there's a high cost of waiting. 25 years old, listen, if they saved up this right here, if they say $200 a month and 9%, 40 years, they have over 900 some thousand saved. But if you wait 1 year to save, it's going to cost you $83,000. Because if you do it at age 26, you have $860,000 instead of $943,000. If you wait to age 30, you miss $350,000. If you wait to age 40 to start saving money, you miss $717,000. So who are people hurting when they wait? Myself. You got me. Saving is so important. You got me, because guess what? Time is so. I say it's like time is the one thing. It's the one thing. It's a non-refundable item, because you can't go back and get time.
No.
All right. And so you gotta be able to be a good steward of your time, even with money management. All right, because time, you can't get that time back. And so listen, but the thing is, everybody say you can do it.
You can do it.
Man, tell your neighbor, tell you can do it.
You can do it.
And say, listen, the path to financial independence starts with understanding a few basic concepts and implementing them. Winning the financial, what's that word right there?
War.
It's a financial what?
War.
You know, we saying song, this means war. So you got, but it's a financial war as well. You got me? So winning the financial war is a result of winning tiny battles day to day. Today, most relationships are broke up due to finances. A lot of suicides are dealing with finances. A lot of things, stresses come from finances. You got me? And so listen, if you put together a simple plan and follow it, you'll be amazed at the progress you can make. And listen, think about it. Are the retired people you know living life on their own terms? Some of you already said it, some of them still working. Did they have to work longer than they wanted and pay off retirement until it was too late to really enjoy that time? How many of y'all know, if, think about your grandma and grandparents, you know, when you're older, the greatest thing to be, imagine your grandmother having, or grandpa having over $1 million saved. How is life with them and their grandkids then? Boy, you're going to have some sport. Boy, you're going to be upset at your grandparents, because they buying them everything now. They're always doing something. You got me. And that's the feeling of the grandparents being able to enjoy financial freedom, you know, with their grandkids. You got me? And so listen, do they wish they had started earlier with the financial game plan in their golden years? Don't make the mistake. Get started now. Take control of your future. If you scan that right there, it's you get what they call how money works booklet. All right, and it gives you more in detail of some stuff I explained. All right, it'll be an electronic booklet that if you scan that with your you can use your photo, or if you got a scanner or whatever. But you'll have an electronic version that you can take to your house, to your ministry, or whatever, and you're able to explain how money works. It's like, I think, 15, 20 page a deal that's dealing with insurance, it's dealing with investing, it's dealing with the debt program I mentioned, the snowball effect. It goes a little bit more detail. All right. And then this is who we are, a little more about us, and that is it. Any questions? Any questions?
You spoke something about senior health in that group of
Yes.
people that y'all work with.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Man, bad news.
Okay.
Now we're in the transition of, cause we did see health about 2 or 3 years, and if you know anything about the health field, it's always been challenging. All right, and so they're looking at right now stopping the senior health program and instituting something else right now. All right, so if you called us last year, but it was a program that helped a lot of seniors. All right, that was 65 and older, helped them with a lot of Medicare. My wife knows a whole lot about that program.
It is revamping it right now.
Yeah, so.
I can take her contact information.
And comprehensive financial analysis, that's right, like all the bills down and this and that, and look at that, I see that on the.
Yes. So on the form, you just put your name and number, and we'll give you a call or whatever, and we'll do a free financial game plan with you of what we just covered, but go more detail, tailoring it towards your financial life. You got me?
Well, you might have to text me first, cause it don't answer. Somebody trying to scam.
But yeah, good question, good question.
Again, you didn't hit on too much like the 401k plan.
Yes.
Okay. And it's another high, interest thing. Yeah, well, I was trying to say, because I remember one time, I was doing pretty good for money making, earning money. I used to tell my daughter all the time, don't say you making money, cause you're going to jail, but you're earning money. You know? But it's a certain level. They always been on a higher level than you are, because they were making more money than you were. But the deal is, like you say again, if you only knew the concept of saving down here, you could have been up there like them, up there. And sometimes people don't think about it. My grandparent, my dad's mama, them had over acres of land, 100 acres. Some people never, and at that time, the only way you can have that, you got to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, yeah. When we get to your 401k, the other type is you got your Roth IRA and traditional IRA.
Oh, okay.
All right, and you do have your stocks as well.
Right.
Now we're able to do traditional IRA and Roth IRAs.
Okay.
All right, because your 401k is connected
The
to your
reason I
job.
say that, I was on a certain level one time, where people had big time money. What you call it, I can't think about what I wanna ask you. If I can think about it, I will tell you exactly what I was thinking. And that you would know what I'm thinking about. I know sometimes, see, that when she hug, you don't need to, but I know what I'm saying. I really do. Well, honey, if I could think about it, I would ask him. I was like, anyway, it was a certain amount of money where people got high finances. And I was on that level one time. Might not stay there long, but I've been there. Cause what was offered for them, it was offered to me. And the only reason I did it, cause I had A1 credit and everything, that's the only way you're gonna get there, and where were they at?
Okay.
And I'd had that one time. Oh, yes, sir. But you can have a mountain, and after a while, you start doing the same. And when you find out, there you are at the bottom. But see, if you could stay where you're at. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people say, "What? He's a millionaire." how you think he got it? Either steal it or one of the two. But he had it.
Mhm.
You can't blame the man because he got the money. It's his money.
Yeah, yeah,
And guess what? And if you get that kind of money, it'd be your money.
yeah.
And that's just the way I think.
Hold on 1 second. I think I got some other thing.
I have a question about the term life insurance. So once you get to the term, do your premiums go up or anything like that? Or
Good.
does everything stay the same?
Good question. So after you got 10, 20, 30, 35 year term, all right? So here's the goal. If you keep it at the same level, then yes, it's gonna go up, all right? Here's the game plan. If I got 500,000 today in insurance, all right? The reason I need 500,000 because I got kids, debt, mortgage. If I pass away, I need to make sure my family's taken care of, all right? Because if I get on the other side with the whole life, 500,000 gonna be way too expensive for me to handle. All right. So now I got 500,000 level all the way up to my, let's say, 30 year, 35 year term. I'm 65 years old. At the age of 65, guess what? My kids are grown. House is paid for. My debt should be decreased. You got me. So my need for the 500, I don't need 500,000 no more. You got me. So to keep from it increasing, I lower my insurance based off of guess what? How much money I got set up as well. Because our job is to work with you over that 30, 35 year period to show you how to save up anywhere between 300,000 to 500,000 between your IRA and between your 401k. All right. So now if I have about, let's say, 200,000 in my 401k, I got another 150, 200,000 in my IRA. That's anywhere between 350 to 400,000 saved up in my retirement stage at 65 years old. If you got 400,000 in your savings, do I need 500,000 in insurance? No. Or do I need insurance at all?
Now, if you got that kind of money.
That's our purpose. So even though but you have an option to keep it, you can lower it down to keep your cost where you want it to be if you want to just keep insurance. All right. But if we understand what we call the savings plan of it, you don't need life insurance no more. Because what you run into is if you pay for life insurance for 30, 35, 40 years, 45 years, 50 years, you end up paying more into it than what it's worth.
Right.
We were just sitting down with a couple yesterday. They already done paid the policy was worth 10,000. All right, they done paid 14,000 into the policy already.
Right.
Didn't realize till we sit down and broke down the actual payment and how it works. So you don't want to be paying for something your whole life and don't have a savings plan in place.
Right.
All right, to where, because the best thing about savings give you options. Yes, you can keep it, but you should be in a position where you don't even need it.
You're right.
But good question. And that's the knowledge part, because most people don't know that. They just have the term policy, but they don't know the investment side of it. All right, and then when that policy, when the term is up, it gets a little bit higher, and then they really don't know what to do with it then. You got me? And so that's kind of why we really try to emphasize starting that mutual fund or savings so that you can be building something with it, you know, as your years go by in life.
So I have over $150,000 worth of student loans for all the credentials I got. Is there a way that I can
Pause.
get that taken out?
Pause 1 second. Pause for 1 second. Bishop,
Yes, sir.
are we still on?
Yes, want me to start?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we get her to get the good. Yeah.
Good. All right, you good?
All right. Yeah. I didn't want to tell you information on live either. Go ahead.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I have a bunch of student loan debt, and I just anticipate I'm gonna be paying that the rest of my life because of the interest. In your plan, is there a way for me to start getting that decreased, like if I use the snowball debt method or whatever? Can I start getting that decreased and realistically have that gone?
Is it a combination of like a personal student loan and then a parent loan and then a subsidized student loan? Is it split up like that, or is
I
it?
think it is. I've basically been ignoring it.
Yeah, most of us. Yeah, most time we do. We don't like paying the things back. But one thing is, first thing is to be look into those plans they got to where the student loan forgiveness plans. But then to go with snowball effect, same thing as well. Then you do want to find the lowest one and get that one paid off. All right. The worst thing about student loans is the interest rate of it.
Right.
All right. The interest rate is what kind of kills you with student loans. All right. So you do want to, if you apply